Hey everybody, it's Jason with JR Custom Designs, the distributor for US and Canada of the AppleAir laser air filtration systems. Today's video, I want to go ahead and cover a few questions that get asked quite a bit online, emails, things like that. And I wanted to kind of do a video showcasing basically the answers to those questions. And the main question is, why AppleAir and what makes it different or better than other brands on the market. So, with our AppleAir laser air filtration, first off, we have laser filtration, we have print filtration, and we have welding filtration. That we're slowly getting in a larger variety of filter systems for the different things. What we have currently is a bunch of stuff for lasers specifically, and they range in size and price from about $1,700 to about $6,500. Um, and so again, the question I get asked is what makes it better. So with the AppleAir, we have a little bit different technology in our air filters, which allow for a couple of different things. One, it's cost savings. Two, filter replacement and usage. So with our systems, unlike others use paper filter media and like active charcoal or some kind of carbon capturing device, such coconut, walnut shell, things like that. Ours also uses that, but as a pre-filter to that setup, we have a pre-filter sock, which is washable. There are actually several of them, depending on the unit you have. That those are washable. Then we have ESP, which is electrostatic plate. What that does is it basically charges the air and attracts the particles, mainly for smoke, soot, and fine particulate debris. That is also washable. So with those two primary filters, the first and second stage filtration, and pretty much all of our units, that is what gives you the biggest cost savings, because those two alone will help prevent the buildup and clogging of the filters further downstream. So let's see here. And all this can be found at AppleAirUSA.com, which is what I have up now. But I'm going to show you a comparison. Now, this is just a broad comparison. It's not specific to any brands except for like ours on the left and others on the right. It's just a broad kind of consensus between them. So, why choose AppleAir? U.S. veteran-owned business. Other ones are outside of the U.S. You're dealing with, I think, Canada, and then there's some other countries that have the filter systems. But ours is U.S. based out of Jacksonville, Florida. All your support, everything is shipped from here. You're not getting anything brought in from anywhere else. Comes to us, we sort it, we check it, and we send it out if anything needs to be done with it. We handle all the warranty and support here in the U.S., so that's not an issue either. Our upfront pricing on the site. When you go to our site, you're going to see the price that you're going to pay. The shipping is the only additional price that you would pay for your unit, whereas others, like it says, you need to request for pricing. And if they say starting at, I mean, like I said, you see the price on our site, that's what you're going to pay. Doesn't matter. Oh, I got a question, or I got someone here. Hey, Christy. Sorry, I didn't have the comment section up, but thanks for joining. So again, upfront pricing versus you have to request a price. Always was under the mindset, if you got to ask for price, you probably can't afford it or you don't want to know. And that's kind of the same thing I see with those there. Is there's no sense in saying a starting at price or contact for pricing. In my opinion, we want to be upfront. We want to be honest with the pricing, and that's what you get. The shipping on our larger items are it's a flat fixed 350, and that includes residential and or liftgate as needed. And for our smaller units is 150. So only other thing you might pay is tax if you're in Florida. If you're outside of Florida, the tax is up to you based on your state requirements for those things. We have washable pre-filters. Other ones, they're replaceable, which is an added cost. Let's see. We're the only ones that we're aware of in this in the laser market that have washable electrostatic plate filters for these systems for your air filtration. Sorry, I'm trying to read this. Our carbon trays, they're rechargeable. So once you start smelling or starting catching the smell of something, it usually means that the filter is starting to clog, so on. And with ours, it is loose media for all but I think 2 of our machines, and you just dump it out. You buy some bulk off Amazon or wherever, and you just replace the media, stick it back in, and you're off and running. So you don't have to buy a cartridge or a filter pack, which may contain the carbon media and like a HEPA filter or something like that. All of our filters are completely separate, so you don't have to. When one goes bad, you don't have to replace them all to replace that one. You just replace the filters as needed, and that's pretty much it. So we have 6 to 9 layers of filtration, which could consist of anywhere from 7 to 23 different filters within those sections or layers. Other filters are less than 5. So there's a lot more filtering in it. Yes, some of our machines are much bigger, but with the filtering media, the whole point of a lot of our bigger filters is to be able to vent back in the room, like the E1, or the FE1, and the Signature series. Those 2 are meant to vent back in the room. They're much larger machines, and the reason for that is because of the filtration that's in them. Average annual replacement filter costs around $300 to $3,000, depending on which unit you use and how much and what you put through it. So, and that's annual. Whereas other filters run anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000+ in filters. Again, depending on how you use it and what you put through it. So a lot of this is something to think about. Our pricing is competitive, if not less expensive, but less expensive doesn't mean lesser quality. We're just we're basically cutting out the middleman with, and we don't have like distributor pricing and stuff like that because we're getting it directly to you. So we're trying to save money that way. So we don't have to inflate our prices to cover dealer markups or anything like that. And if we do get distributors through the course of business, we're not really going to be raising the prices to offset that. We'll just absorb that as necessary. Our filter systems, depending again which one you use, go down to 0.1 microns, which is bacteria levels. We also have what other filters go down to 0.3. On top of that, what we have is UV filters and ion filters. So the UV filters are going to catch your bacteria, break down the odors, and then the ion filters are what's going to actually neutralize the odors that are left at that stage prior to exiting the machine, because they are probably the second to last stage that you're going to go through before it goes through the final carbon and HEPA filter, again, depending on your unit. All of our replacement filters and anything you'll need for your filters are on our site. Again, you don't have to request pricing. You don't have to do any of that. You can go on there, you see which one you need, you go ahead and buy it, and we send it to you. Our units, like I said before, range anywhere from 7 to 23 filters, depending on the size and what it's actually for. Others are 1 to 6 individual filter elements. All our machines carry a 2-year warranty. Others carry about a 1, and then some of our components are covered for longer than that, and all that stuff's available on our website. In the end, it's really hard to compare like pricing and what you get from our filters versus others, because ours are unique in the fact that we use the electrostatic plates and the ion and UV filters and our lamps in our filter systems. So then the only thing you can compare other than that is the cost and the size. So the cost is comparable, if not, like I said, less expensive for what you're getting. Um, the fact that you can wash 2 of the primary filters saves you a ton of money and time um, with dealing with the filters and replacing those regularly. Um, and then the longevity. So not only the price of the machine, but the cost to operate. Like I said, the cost to operate annually is in the hundreds to a couple $2,000 or $3,000 a year for our units, to potentially a lot more, 10,000 plus with other units. So you got to look at the longevity of it and what you're going to get out of the machine over the life of the machine. Because if you're paying $7,000 for the machine, but you're spending $10,000 a year versus paying $7,000 for a machine and paying $3,000 a year, you can see the difference there in the cost savings overall annually. So let's see. All right, so here we have. This is kind of a breakdown of the units that we have in stock. The 604 we're getting in. We don't have those just yet. Other than that, the rest of these on here we have in stock to varying quantities. And it gives you basically a breakdown of everything about the machine, how it's vented, if it needs vented, if it can vent back inside. It'll say both. And that's the big thing is with our larger machines. Like we have a couple customers that got the new E1 and the Freedom signature, and they needed to vent back in the room. They have family with lung issues, things like that, where it wasn't practical to vent it outside. And on top of that, venting it inside, they had to be able to cover and be safe for the family members that had the medical conditions. So our top of the line two, the FE1 and the Signature Series both cover that. The rest of them are meant to vent outside. Depending on what you're doing, you could get away with venting it inside. But the more stuff you do, like MDF, acrylic, things like that, you're going to run into issues with the smell and the really fine particulate. So getting ones with HEPA filters and things built into them, which the FE1 and the Freedom have several HEPA filters, and I'm going to have to update this, but I believe these two do as well. the 131 and FML. Just they only have one versus the other ones that have 2 or 3. Decibel levels, all of them are less than 70. Actually, one's at 72, but that's within like 3 feet of the machine, and you're not typically going to be that close to it. And if it's the exhaust duct is routed away from the area, you're not going to hear hardly anything anyways. You're basically just hearing the fan noise. Odors, all of them are going to give you a slight odor, with the exception of the FE1 and Signature. Those won't give you any odor. The trade-off with that is it gives you kind of that hospital kind of smell. Basically clean air. It's the ozone filters doing their job, and getting rid of all the smell. And that's mainly for like heavy wood, MDF, acrylic, things like that. We have a video that we did on that you can check out if you'd like. But yeah, and then also your estimated annual costs along here. And these are probably conservative. I mean, you could be upwards of about 3,000, again, depending, but this is basically your averages with the filter expectancy, life expectancy, and use. And again, 2-year warranties. The website, which is AppleAirUSA.com, has all our pricing. You can go to our products page, find your replacement filters, your manuals. You can see all the different products that we offer. So we got laser filtration, we got wide format printing for UV, solvent, DTF, all that stuff. Mobile welding and cutting, basically metal cutting and welding. We have the filtration systems available for that. We have a couple of those coming in our next shipment, so we'll have those on hand, and you can get them with 1 or 2 arms, depending on how many people are using the setup. Let's see, service and parts. Got the breakdown list here, and then our comparison as well. And then if you got instruction manuals, which looks like the link on that's broken, but this should take you to the manuals. Take a look here. Yeah, so this brings you to the manuals. You got the manuals for each individual unit. We do have financing available through Geneva Capital. We also take PayPal, and we can do checks and things like that or bank transfers, things like that. So several different ways to pay on these. The best probably being the financing. Take advantage of the financing and use the tax write-off. A little backstory. This is an Australian-based company that we are the U.S. and Canada distributors for. We helped to develop the Freedom Signature series, which is specifically made for the U.S. and is sold with the U.S. branding on it all over the world. And the main reason for that is for the hot and cold climates, people working out of their sheds or garages or houses, things like that. I wanted a unit that could vent back inside and not cause any problems. Because if you've ever had it in a humid, if you've ever been in a humid condition or in the cold and you're trying to run these systems, lasers, you're pulling cold air or hot humid air in constantly. It's hard to keep it air conditioned, keep it cooled, keep it hot, and keep the humidity down. So these eliminate that because, again, you don't have to vent it outside with the 2 here, which is FE1 and the Freedom Signature. So that's the main reason for those is to be able to do that and be safe doing it. Couple testimonials here we'll listen to.
Sean, you've had this machine here for just over a year. Before you had that machine, I think you had paper-based systems, right?
Yeah, well, it just wasn't ideal for us. I mean, we do large volume here with wire markers, and it's consistently changing them. They're blocking up, and then that's putting a stop to your production time. With these filters, we only change them once a month, and we pull them out, give them a clean, empty the bags as they needed. And yeah, it just saves us a lot more time and keeps the production going for longer.
Prior to that, how were you dealing with the carbon?
So prior to that, we had it running through a filter that was just blocking up, clogging up, not providing the airflow. You weren't getting the quality that you needed. You could still see that it wasn't taking all of it away. So then after having this one, we knew how good it works. Then we went on to this one, and now it's got the easier cleaning system. It cleans itself, drops out the bottom, and then you empty it out, and you can just tell that the quality is just much better.
Yeah.
To be honest, over the last 6.5 years, it's probably the best product. It is the best product that I've come across because it actually works.
Sean, thank you for your time.
That's good.
I guess it helped if I didn't mute the mic. So, anyways, forget what I already said, but so that's just kind of a rundown of all the reasons we believe that AppleAir laser purification and filtration systems are better for you, for the environment, and for your wallet. So if you have any questions, you can visit our website at appleairusa.com. If you have any questions, reach out to us through our contact us form or the phone number or emails. We'll be happy to help, answer any questions, and find the right system for your needs. So thanks for watching. Sorry it took so long, but look forward to helping you out and seeing what we can do for you. All right, till next time, thanks for watching. Have a great day.